the select screen for Mortal Kombat.exe. I've always been a fan of Mortal Kombat games, especially in the Mortal Kombat Project games, but not anymore. In fact, I hate hearing about the game. One day I was surfing through the web for some games to play on my emulators, and I happened to come across a game called Mortal Kombat.exe. I'm not going to give out the link for your safety reasons and for you and your computer. But anyways, I thought it would be boring and dull. But when I looked at the RAM it took up, it said it takes 2 gigabytes. So I thought to myself that the game would be exciting, because I've never downloaded a Mortal Kombat game that took so much memory. So I clicked on the download link and it started downloading the game. Surprisingly, it took over 4 hours for the entire game to download. The download when it then was finished, but that was when things started to get weird. The download box popped up letting me know that the download was finished, so I clicked run. Then my laptop screen burst into static and started playing frequent high-pitched sounds. Then the laptop went black and I grunted to myself in anger, trying to turn my laptop back on. After a few tries, my laptop finally turned on, the same as it was before, except that there was a game on my desktop. I thought to myself that the laptop was probably just crashed from the large download. So I clicked on the game and it started playing, and there was music playing. The screen then showed Goro and the words were arcade, versus, practice, options, and exit. So I clicked on arcade and the Mortal Kombat arcade theme burst out of my speakers violently, nearly shaking the whole house. I muted the computer thinking nothing of the sound. What came up is what I couldn't believe. The character selection screen came up with a total of 276 characters. I was amazed. This was the best Mortal Kombat ever. So I selected one of my favorite characters, Chameleon. I know there were 6 versions of him, so I chose the Mortal Kombat Trilogy Chameleon. Then a box popped up on the selection screen saying, choose stage. There was a total of 500 stages, making the game better. So I chose my favorite place to fight in Mortal Kombat 1 Pit. When I select the stage, Shao Kahn's voice said, "Good choice, Lane." 2 things popped into my head. 1, how did he know my name? And 2, how is his voice even coming up for the speakers are muted? Then the loading screen came up and I had to fight Hydro, a Mortal Kombat Project character. So I started fighting and got to the point where Shao Kahn's voice said, "Finish him." And then a box popped up showing the list of names that was my friend's name, Jordan. So I clicked on Jordan just for fun. Then another box come up saying, choose fatality. Then a box popped up saying fatality from 1 to 10 and stage fatality. I thought it was awesome that character had 10 fatalities and a stage finisher. I chose stage fatality, and when I clicked on stage fatality, it showed my favorite character Chameleon uppercutting Hydro, causing him to fall into the pit spikes at the bottom. When it hit the ground, very realistic blood shot out of him as he screamed in agony, but Hydro's scream nearly broke my speakers as it was so loud. I was angry that I kept hearing the noises from the game as I muted my computer, and confused as to why the noises were so loud. When the words Chameleon wins, fatality came up on the screen, but there was no Shao Kahn saying the name in fatality. Then Shao Kahn's voice came up saying, "You will never win, Lane." I then made loud and a bunch of pop-ups saying Mortal Kombat.exe stopped responding. It came up, crashing my laptop. I was frightened as I tried to turn my laptop back on, but it would not power on. I thought that it must have been a virus. Angrily, I put up with my laptop, thinking to myself that I could try and fix it in the morning, since I'm good at computers. I then went to bed, trying to sleep, but thinking about why the game knew my name. I awoke to a ringing noise. It was my iPhone 4. I looked at my phone to check what time it is. It was 2:30 a.m. I then answered my phone only to hear my friend's mom crying. I asked to tell her what was wrong, and the siren sound in the background told me that the sirens and police and ambulance and sirens that Jordan was dead. He had several holes in his body. I bolted downstairs trying to turn on my laptop, but then a message popped up saying, "Thank you for playing, Lane, but I told you, you will never win." I was screaming and crying in horror and despair as several message boxes popped up saying never. Then the worst thing happened to me. A bunch of pictures of dead adults, children, and babies popped up on the screen. And then a message box popped up saying, "Look at him." Then a picture of my friend Jordan was shown with his eyes gouged out and his intestines popped out laying on the floor. He also had several gory holes in his body. The screen then went black, and a Mortal Kombat front came up saying, "Lane wins. Fatality." The screen then went to black. This is the reconstruction of the last screen Lane would have seen. It has been 4 months since the incident, and I am traumatized by it just like anybody else would be. The police found the men who killed Jordan. Oddly, he's the creator of the game I downloaded. Yesterday, I was flipping through the channels on my TV and I saw Jordan's killer on the court on TV. I had to watch, but after 5 minutes, the judge asked him what he had to say before he was sentenced to death. He responded by looking at the camera and saying, "Lane, you will never win," violently laughing as a bailiff carried him away.